Hello, Sagittarius. Thank you very much for tuning into this week's read. For the main part of the read, I'm using the Morgan Greer Tarot, supportive oracle cards, You Are Clairvoyant oracle cards by Belinda Grace, illustrations by Elaine Marzen. I'm excited. This is good. I just did all the water signs, and they were fairly good, but I feel like I'm excited. I wasn't feeling excited. Why am I excited? I'm excited. I'm like, woo! I'm like, finally! I don't know why. We'll find out in a minute, I guess. The set. Oh, that one card. Do we want this? It's kind of down here. Okay. You're crossed coming into it. Okay. The situation as it starts off. I'm a fan of Sagittarian energy. It's one of the signs that I just seem to link up very easily with. Y'all seem to just go from one to the next. But what I'm getting here, and I know some Sagittarians, and I feel like this is a trap. You just go from one to the next, and you're expecting maybe other people to catch on. Yeah, I feel other people are getting used to you just doing everything. I feel like that's it's like a trap for Sagittarius. Like, you start doing a lot, and people just get used to it and start expecting it. I don't like that. And I feel like when I got Kathumi with self-acceptance kind of being eclipsed here, it's kind of like I don't want things to fall through the cracks. Things work well as long as I keep busy, but at the same time, it's like other people should be pitching in. Other people should be helping. And it's kind of like, it's almost annoying. Like, why do I have to tell them? Why don't they just help? Like, why do I have to tell them, clean up those dishes? Why do I have to tell them, that's a mess over there, just pick it up? Why do I have to tell them, like, those documents aren't finished yet? They need to be finished, just do it. Like, why do I have to tell them? Why don't they just do it? I feel like I'm feeling this energy, like, and at the same time, I'm like, well, I don't want it to get behind, so I just keep doing things. But I'm annoyed, like, why do I have to tell people that, why do I have to tell them? Like, how come I just go from one to the next and I realize I need to, and other people are just kind of like looking at me like they're expecting me to do everything for them? There's a little bit of an annoyance there, and it makes sense. Now the trap of this is, alright, I was going to let it go, but I feel like there's a little bit more. And I've learned this the hard way myself. I don't know if I have Sagittarius in my chart, to be fair, but I know I've done something like this before, where you start off doing a lot, and maybe even tell somebody, it's fine, I'll just do it. And it's almost like you create your own monster. I know I've done this. They're saying, be aware of like how you're handling things. And I feel like from this moment, like, if you're not realizing you're doing it, it's almost like you're doing things for people. But when you start doing things for people right in the beginning, you always want to pull them in and get them doing a share of it. You always want somebody to help you. I almost feel like there's like an independent feel here, kind of like, well, they get in my way sometimes. Yeah, but that might be how this starts. Like, you want like, if you're going to do something, you want somebody else to like follow up and do something as well. Like, you want, even if they're not doing it right with you, you want to think about that, starting that pattern. Because I feel like it's just routine. But I feel like I'm having that energy. Like, why do I have to tell people? Why can't they just realize that they need to do it? I don't know, they're trying to give some type of insight, like that might get you out of this pattern. If when you start helping somebody, you automatically give them direction, like, I'll do this, you do that. And like, if you get into the habit of giving people direction, I'll do this, you do that, when you show up, they might get into that habit of just like, oh, the Sagittarius is here, it's time to do stuff. And they'll at least do that. I don't know if that's optimal, I get that, but that might help. It might help. Because the next card you're getting here is asking for help. Like, you have to put some energy out there saying, like, you need to do that. Like, if I'm doing this, I need you to do that. There needs to be some direction here. And I feel like when asking for help comes in on your side, it's kind of like you just go into things and you just take care of them. And people seem to be expecting it. And they just kind of wait to the side just to see what you do and then react according to however they normally react. They're saying, no, when you show up, let people know, I'm going to do this. While I'm doing this, you do that. So when I'm done with that, we can all do this. Kind of like, if I'm showing up and, I'm going to go clean up the laundry and do the floors and stuff because we have company coming. While I'm doing that, you start getting the stuff out of the freezer and start getting the water boiling and get the food ready so that I don't have to do everything. And that way when the person gets here, we don't have to be behind the 8 ball trying to rush and get things done. So I'll do this, you do that. So you're like, otherwise, if you don't, you'll go around cleaning things up, getting the laundry together, cleaning up the floors. Meanwhile, they're just kind of watching what you're doing, and they're just kind of like, well, I don't even know what we're going to actually be making, so all right. If you tell them ahead of time, it doesn't have to be such a madhouse. That's all I'm saying. Because if you don't, it doesn't seem like it happens. I don't know. It feels annoying. I feel like I feel aggravated. Kind of like, why don't they just do it? Like, why don't they just do it? The Hanged Man is face down. Yeah, see, they're not going to move unless you tell them. But they also have Ascended Masters. It's almost like they feel like you're leading the show. They almost feel like they're not supposed to until you tell them what to do. I don't feel like you like that. For the people this is hitting with, I really feel like you don't like that. Like, you're like, no. You're like, just start something, I'll go with it, it's fine. Like, I'm feeling this like, oh my goodness. If you give direction, I'm telling you, your life goes so much easier. So much easier. You've got the 5 of Cups with the Knight of Pentacles. I'm getting like, you have one of two things. It's like an either or. You tell them what to do, and things go smoothly, and it's not that bad, and things seem to be very enjoyable and fun. You don't tell them, and you're just kind of like, well, it's going to work out, it's just not going to work out as good as it should have, and you're going to kind of be annoyed. That's the 5 of Cups I'm feeling. Kind of like, there's 2 cups here that are saying it mostly works out, or works out enough to say so. Like, you got 2 cups still up, but it's not working out the way you want to. You feel like you've been run ragged. You're not enjoying the situation as much as you should. It's more aggravating. I feel like your connection with these people is good, whoever it is. So it's not like, you know what I mean? It's a good thing. It's not like it's a bad thing. Like, it's not like it's a bad group of people. It's a good group of people. It's just like realizing what you have to do to make things work out more to your liking. This is like, I do feel like it's kind of like, I don't want to be in that role. I don't want to be in the role calling the shots. I don't want to be that person. But at the same time, they're just giving you the heads up. If you're not that person, you're not going to be as happy. This is more like taking control of your own happiness. Ace of Cups is telling me everything works out fine. No matter which way you choose, it doesn't go bad, is what I'm getting. It's just kind of like, the sooner you start directing people and telling them what to do, the sooner you get into that habit, the more of this you get, the more of the Ace of Cups. Things are a lot better. Like, I feel like they're saying you got to get more into that comfort zone if you can, or just accepting that if you want things to go well, you got to be the director. I really feel like that's what's got to happen here. And again, you got the 4 of Cups. It's eclipsing the Emperor, which is telling me you don't really want to. You're like, I don't want to do it that way. I don't want to be that one. But they're saying, until you come forward as the Emperor, and you're the one saying, all right, you don't even have to get overly detailed. You could just be like, I'm going to clean the house, you create dinner. Just make sure it's not going to take more than an hour and a half, because they're going to be here. So just do something, make whatever you want. That might be like, it might be just as simple as that. Maybe. You have to feel out your own situation and who you're dealing with. Because I know Sagittarius that, you know, they put out the information, like, just make that happen, and that's all they have to do. Like, you make dinner, I'll do this, it'll work out. And they don't have to put a lot beyond that. They don't have to be like, all right, we're going to have this, that, and that, make that first, make that after. Like, they don't have to get that detailed with it. They can basically say, you make dinner, I'll clean this, that's how we're going to work this out. Or some nights they'll be like, tonight I'll make dinner, you do that. Cool. And they don't have to go through and direct the whole situation. They're just kind of like, keep moving. Just keep moving and we're happy. So you might not have to be, you know, seriously detailed. I don't know, it depends. You have to weigh out what you're dealing with. When you do that, though, things solidify. Things are a lot better. I feel like things finally line up. I almost feel like we got the 4 sides of, like, the 4 walls holding up the ceiling. Like, everything is really solid. Everything is really put together. I am getting, though, that, like, you're trying to get this. I feel like you're trying to like, train somebody almost. Like, maybe not literally train them, but kind of like you're trying to give them the impression, like, if you just start something, just do what you think is right, and then I'll fill in the extra pieces if that's what happens. Like, I don't always have to tell you. You can go forward with something if you want to. But I'm also getting with the High Priestess, like, I do feel like you're the one in control. Don't get caught up in the genders, because these are, like, you know, you got male and female going on. It doesn't matter what the gender is anyway. But they're saying you're going to have to direct it to some level. It may be, again, as simple as, like, you make dinner, I'll do this. Or you go take care of the car has some issues, you go take care of that, and I'll go take care of the finances today. And you might be switching it back and forth. All right, my car is the one having issues, so I'm going to go take care of my car. While I'm doing that, you take care of the finances this time. You might flip it back and forth, just that way you both stay in loop, or whoever you're dealing with. But you're going to have to be the one literally saying it, is what I'm getting. Like, you're going to have to say, go do that, and I'll go do this. You might have to, like, you know, be the turning of the key, like the turning of the ignition for the car to start the car. You might have to be that, or push car if you're one of those push button people. You know what I mean? You're the igniter. The sooner you accept it, the better it gets. It does. I feel like this is hitting for specific people. I really do, because I'm getting like you're starting a pattern. You start a pattern, and I feel like it doesn't have to be that complicated, but I feel like you're pretty much the director. Anytime somebody else says, well, I want to do this, I feel like you're like, all right, we'll do that, and then and you fill in the blanks. But you still have to fill in the blanks. I'm getting a lot of rewards coming in. I feel like the environment you're dealing with is at peace, and they got literally the happiness card here. Things keep going. Things keep moving forward. The outcome here is love and psychic conversations. The more you get into this pattern of just kind of like, I'll do this, you do that, and again, not overly detailed, you might even get to the point where you can say, like, okay, we have a vacation coming up. It's going to be from this time to this time. You go look at places you want to go. And I feel like that'll start working out a lot better, and they might even move forward, or at least they'll find places where you can be like, well, let's do this, and you can direct it. Like, all right, now that we want this spot, what are the amenities there? Or are we going to go camping? Are we going to stay at a hotel? Are we just going to go do a day trip there? You research what type of possibilities we have there, and then let me know what you got, and then I'll go do this. I don't feel like you have to do a crazy amount of effort, but you got to keep this other person or people moving. Love with the psychic conversations. The psychic conversations makes me feel like they're going to start getting more used to the habit, and they're going to start moving forward a lot better. They're like, it's kind of like if you say, all right, we got a vacation coming up, go find some places where you think we want to go. They'll find a couple places, and a few of them they'll research a little further, and like, I like this place, it's very tropical, and they have this hotel has these amenities, and I think we could go there, and we could do this other thing there while we're there. And you're like, okay, that sounds cool, I'm kind of sold on that, let's do that. Like, the psychic conversations means that they're going to start evolving a little farther as time goes on. I still feel like at the whole time you're always going to have to be the director, but they might move a little farther at times where it's a little easier for you. Anything else? All right, I think we're there. I'm going to shut this down here. I hope that helps. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. Thank you.